Shalom, shalom. Till Tisha B'Av. So everyone know that he was told from the Talmud Torah, and after part of the story is definitely existing. To focus of what is the source of those events from the beginning. Tammuz, the 17th of Tammuz, that the Luchot was broken, will stay the holiday. Yes, the other holiday will disappear when the Mashiach will come, and Tisha B'Av will become the holiday of the building of the Beit Hamidash. So we start from one point at the beginning of the 3 weeks. It's when the Luchot was broken by Moshe Rabbeinu, and it's finished by the destruction of the Beit Hamidash. And I will take exactly the opposite way of looking of these 3 weeks, according to our life today, not just about the history that was. So let's see what is the advantage, what is the positive side that the Luchot was broken. Everyone look at that like a negative event. It was the Luchot, Moshe Rabbeinu come back with the Torah in the hand, and he saw the Am Israel making the Chet HaEgel, so he broke the Luchot. So for everyone, something that is broken apparently is definitely something negative. Yes, everyone. In fact, in the Zohar, in the Chassidut, and the book of Kabbalah, they explain, no, not at all. Yes, it was because the Am Israel wasn't ready and they want to make a god of gold to see. But in fact, why Moshe Rabbeinu that was told by Hashem after that, Yashar Koyach. Yes, everyone know in Yiddish when you say Yashar Koyach, it's like, okay, bravo. But this was words said by Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu, Yashar Koyach. After he broke the Luchot, Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, bravo about what you did by broken the Luchot. What it concerns us, what is good to us. Moshe Rabbeinu is what we call the tzaddik, Yesod Olam, that connect between Hashem and each of us. And when he saw the level of the Jews that are not ready, the lower one, not the higher one, not the tzaddikim, yes? People like me that are not at the level to reach such holiness, such spiritual. It was too much. So what is too much? It's like maybe I will succeed for a short time, and after that, I will do nothing. Because I will discover that it was too much for me, so I will stop completely. This happened to everyone. We want to pray with Kavanah, we want to learn with Kavanah, we want to be holy, we want to progress spiritually, and it's good. And we go very high and we feel fantastic, but after that, we are falling so deep. So we are completely sad about the result. And Moshe Rabbeinu saw that immediately. He said, people, maybe it is a part of the nation that can keep all the time a holy level. But the other people will go up and down. This is life. So if I give them something that is too high, the challenge will be too high, those people will fall and will be in sadness and will be broken after. So by broken the Luchot, in fact, it's not broken in a way that is a destruction. It's to make a part of the level of holiness in smallest parts that are accessible to everyone. So in fact, he make a favor to the Jewish nation to say, okay, I take the Luchot from the highest level from Hashem directly. I'm bringing in this world. Now I'm making parts so it will be an access for everyone. And then the second Luchot will be at the level under the first one, that this level will be accessible. So we understand that when we see in life situations that look blocked or broken, it's two ways to look at that. One way is, oh, it's hard, it's sad, because this is not what I hope or what I wish or what I am looking for. And this is the Yetzer Hara way of thinking. Because the result of that will be that you are going to fall in sadness. And sadness is the worst thing in the entire Torah. It even says that we can't open the book and learning Torah if we are sad. Because we will give negative energy inside the Torah. So sadness is something that comes immediately to everyone when he don't succeed to achieve something or to get an answerable question or to open a situation or to find a door to open the way. So Moshe Rabbeinu was aware about what is a human, a Jewish. We want, of course, very high level. But you know also that we are humans, so we are going like waves in life, up and down. Up and down for waves is very good. The problem is when the waves are too extreme, like the high is too high, and when you fall very deep, very low. So waves by itself is good, because this is life. The question if the waves are a tsunami and destruction, or the waves are just to taking you up and down, like to surf on life, yes? If you are a good surfer, you like the waves. You take up and down and you continue. So Moshe Rabbeinu understand, give a very special notion about, you know what? You may say that is sad, and it is a part that things was broken. But inside it, this give you access to a level in any situation in your life. When you feel high, when you feel low, you are always connected. Then this is the beginning of the 3 weeks. It's a very important message of life. I may facing situations that look at this moment very hard for me and things that are difficult to go through or things that was broken in my life or in my relationship. But in fact, if I look inside, I say, okay, I can see this in this different way. I can see that I can keep a balance in my feelings, in my relationship that can go up and down, but in the levels that look like nice waves and not tsunami and broken. Then we finish the 3 weeks with the Tisha B'Av, that apparently is the worst thing that happened in the Klal Israel 2000 years ago. The place where Hashem was in front of us, the Kohanim, the Leviim, the Korbanot, the Shekhinah, was burned and completely destroyed. So how the Torah says that this day will become the only holidays that will stay when the Mashiach will come. It's like it will be the ultra super Yom Tov Chag. It will replace Sukkot, Shavuot, and Pesach. So it's a day of celebration. What do we celebrate? In fact, if it's the day that everything was destroyed, burned. Look, everyone in his life. You can check yourself, it's very easy. If you look in your mind something that was bad in your life, some hard event or some sad event, you don't look at that like a celebration day. Yes. You keep in your mind in very negative feelings and emotions that make you sad just by thinking on it. Something that happened 1 year, 10 years, 20 years ago, it's not important. In your memory, something that you are suffering about that. You are not enjoying and you are not celebrating this day. And the Torah wants to tell you something fantastic. You can switch that. Why? Because from the same energies that destroyed, it was the fire, yes, that destroyed the Beit Hamikdash, it will come a Beit Hamikdash with particle of light, particle of fire directly from heaven to the earth. It's like inside the worst situation, they are there, a very unique particle of light, what we call nitzotzot in Hebrew, in the Kabbalah language. And those particles of light have intensity to rebuild anything that was destroyed. Today, the scientific, not today, I think it's at least the last, before 10 or 12 years, but the scientific said the atom is not the particle that is make everything in the earth, but it's called the photon. The photon is 100 million smaller than the atom, and it's particle of that inside the atom, yes, the atom was until now the smallest particle in the world that compose everything. This is the time of Einstein discovery, yes. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, the scientific discovery, no, the atom is very big. Inside the atom, it is 100 million smaller particle, and the name of it is photon, P-H-O-T-O-N. The photon, in fact, is 100 million smaller than an atom. What it is, it's a particle of light. It's light, it's not material. And this composes the entire universe. And the scientific call that the gold particle. Yes, they admit that is something beyond any human and material being. It's composed your body, it's composed your table, it's composed the heaven, it's composed everything in the nature. When you look inside with a microscope, yes, atomic microscope, you will find inside everything. Like, I can give you a very simple example. You make chalot for Shabbat. It looks like a challah when it's finished, yes. How did you make it? What was your ingredient? Who want to give you the receipt of the challah? What are you using to make a challah? Main particle. Your challah is finished. But this is, without that, you can put everything else, will not get chalot. Yes. So inside each of us, this is the essence of everything that is existing in the universe. And yes, you need this special atomic microscope to see it, yes, but exactly the same. The intensity of light you have composes you physically, mentally, and spiritually. And this was the scientific call that the God particle. It's like the scientific in our century come to the conclusion that no, the answer is not about number, it's not about chemic, it's not about atom, it's about light. Everything is about light. The ones that want after that to read about or to Google about, I invite you, because to discover that everything is made by this photon, particle of light dancing, creating the atom, and the atom creating the material. It's really, you see exactly the light of the Shekhinah in front of you. And this is what composes you. Your body is made by that. The intensity will make different part of the body. But in fact, we are just covering the light that is inside you. So the matter of light is what? To see the light and to shine with the light. It's what every time I say the challenge for everyone is the mirror test. When you look at the mirror, do you see the light? Or do you see the problems, the question, the sadness, the skin that covering, the eyes that have memories? Or do you see the light that is inside? So this is, in fact, the composition of the neshama. So Moshe Rabbeinu have perfectly a big bravo from Hashem for making parts of what was the Luchot, because the light was so intense that if you just look at it, you get completely burned. It's too much. Even today, when you look at the sun in the afternoon, you get blind. It's like you see the black, because the light is too much. So Moshe Rabbeinu give access to everyone in any level, in any generation, to the light. When the Tisha Ba'v, they will come. Hashem will download the Beit Hamidash with particle of light. For the people that want, I have a fantastic painting about that. It is called Tisha Ba'v, but it looks like a celebration of light. And I have a story about that. when I published this work 10 years ago, I think, or 9 years ago, I get a commentary from a priest in Poland immediately after. And he wrote under the painting, "You paint God." I immediately answer, I say, it's impossible to paint God. Yes, it was like looking like a meeting 2,000 years ago between a Christian and Jewish. How? And it was online. It was crazy. It's like, wow. So when I answer, we can't paint God, a few minutes after, I say, you are right. You are right. You understand this is the Jewish answer. We can't give an image, yes? But he wrote that God was near you when you made this painting. And my answer was like God is inside and near every human being, in fact. And this was the end of the conversation about this painting, but it was very surprising that at the time of Tisha B'Av, when I published this painting, a priest that I don't know from where was coming, who is. But after that, I checked, he's very important priest in Poland, that will have a conversation about what is the meaning of God in our consciousness, what is Hashem. And because this painting was representing a celebration of light, of meaning of small particle of light, for him he saw God. For us, we know that we don't have an image. So this is the light and the photon. My conclusion about that is starting the 3 weeks, it's starting the building of the Beit Hamidash. It's not the building by itself, it's the Mikdash that is inside each of us. And today we are talking about the Mishkan, yes? Mishkan of the Shekhinah. So how I start to build myself? Because if I build myself, in fact, I buy to bring the Shekhinah inside me so I can shine and share with the other. So it's already the process of bringing the Mashiach, of having Tisha B'Av that will be changed from a day that everything was destroyed to a day that everything is rebuilt. So I think that we can have a little switch when start these 3 weeks from the sad part, the destruction, burning. So if I look in my life and I say, okay, what I have in my memory for my last 25 or 30 years in my life. And I want to notice, immediately we'll jump everything that was said, that was broken, that didn't go, yes. So in fact, during these 3 weeks at the beginning, if I think of my life according to the story of the Jewish nation during 2000 years, I go to the dark place, to the sad place, to the disappointment, to the things that are blocked, the things that are broken. This is not a way to build. Of course, if I don't notice, I am not aware about what is my life, but I can't stay there. It cannot be that every year during 3 weeks, I'm not only thinking about what was destroyed, what don't go in my life, what is said in my life. This cannot stay like that, because this point don't bring you to build your life. When people come to Tzefat and buy some property, that definitely is no one was in there during 30, 40 or 50 years. It looked like a ruin. It's like, okay, stones and an abandoned house. He buy for what? To look what is destroyed, or he look to refill and to rebuild and to make and to fix. So you can look, in fact, of an abandoned house and say, oh, it's so sad, it's so dirty, it's so black. This is the way we look at our life. Or you say, okay, now I am going to build it. So my eyes are full of light about my future. Know what was exactly destroyed in my past, because this will not help me to build my life. Yes, I can be a contractor and tell him, okay, can give you an estimation about how much will cost to make a new roof, to build a room, to make a new bathroom, to make a new kitchen. This is a positive way to see what I don't have and what I need to build. This is exactly what happened during these 3 weeks. It's not to tell us, be sad and cry about what you lost. This is the life. No, definitely not. Because it says that Tisha B'Av will be the day of celebration of the Beit Hamikdash rebuild, the Shekhinah, the Kohen Gadol, and everything. So in fact, if I start to say, okay, I want to build my own Mishkan. I am a Mishkan, yes? Like it said, V'shachanti betocham, the Pasuk say, I will be inside you. It's not just in a tent or in a building. It's inside you, each of us. So I have to start to understand, okay, what was destroyed. What is blocked is blocked. Now I want to build. Let's make a plan to build my life. And because it's come from a past that have shadows and darkness, this gives me the energy and the will to build something new. It's like the negative energy will push me, will awake inside me such strong will that I will achieve what I have to make, what I have to build. This is an opening of the conversation. I say I will try this come back to my mind on the way here. To say this is the way I can open the eyes about what is in these 3 weeks. The point that come immediately after is what is the thing, what are the things that hurt me more than anything else? What I am concerned in my life that make me sad or down or negative. It's not a house. It's not a car. It's not clothes or shoes. What it is? Relationship. Relationship. If I feel hurted, it's not because I want to buy new shoes and the store was closed. Yes. But I can come another day. If not, if I want to cook something and the result is not very tasty, it's okay. If not, if I want to receive this amount of money, I didn't get it. Okay, this disturbed me, but not really hurting me. Where I feel hurted, it's about relationship. From any levels. Parents, partners, children, friends, boss, everyone that is what I call in my constellation. Yes, my constellation of stars, it's what is close to me, more or less. Yes, we have the Earth and the Moon and the Sun and the other stars. Everyone is exactly like that. So what hurt me more than anything else is about people. Relationships that why this person is or was so bad with me. And if I was good with him, of course, this completely destroyed me. Because I am expecting that at least he will give a feedback of the good that I give to him. And what a surprise, many times in life. The people that we are so good with them, don't pay back in the same way. I think I told the story about the small stones, no? The small stone of the rabbi that was giving to everyone the sgula with a small bag with small stones. And everyone was thinking this is a sgula of every blessing that you want. The people were thinking this is a sgula, to have this small stone from this rabbi. And in fact, it was working. It's like during all the years, people didn't get married, didn't have children, they have children, didn't have parnasai. So everyone make this small stone with a small bag that the rabbi was giving, the sgula. Wow. At the end of his life, his shamash asked the rabbi, from where did you get this sgula of this stone? From your ancestor, from your father that was also a rabbi, your grandfather? And his answer was very surprising. He said, no, this is not a sgula. He said, so what do you give this small stone to the people? He said, normally when you make something good to someone, it takes a big rock and want to hurt you. I give small stones, so it is not hurting me so much. So relationship is about expectation and disappointment. And yes, one of the causes of the end of the Beit Hamidash at this time was that everyone was sure that he is right. Every part between relationship of people, everyone was sure and can prove that he is right. The only problem is the two are right. It's something impossible, yes? So at the end, everyone was holding his position and say, I am right. It's happened until today. Between friends, between wife and husband, children, parents, everyone, if you ask him if he's a good person, yes? Some people are very bad, that's just looking to hurt for hurting. But normally, it's never 100%. He thinks that he is right. This is his position. And he stands for his position. But you are in front of him and you stand for your position. Let me ask you a question. Where are we going with that? Nowhere. It's not solving. And sometimes I meet people, I say, not for long, someone tell me I didn't spoke with my sister 10 years. I say, why? Because we fight 10 years ago. So in fact, what you do, it should take 10 years of your life. It's a long time. And you burn it. Why? Because you block in the situations that have no way to be rebuilt, to shine. So it's like burning something. But you know, when we play with fire, we get burned first. So how we change that? Because if we don't change that, we are not building our own Mishkan. I don't be myself. I stay in a position of broken and destruction. And I have nothing from that. It's not helping me. It's not giving me health. It don't give me money. It don't give me joy. It don't give me success. I have nothing from that. Like logically, yes. I don't speak now about morality. I speak just logic. The positions that you are holding don't give you nothing. This is in a good way. In the good case. In the worst case, is block you everything in your life. So in these 3 weeks that people want only to see the part that was broken, burned, destruction, this is a Yetzer Hara pure. Because this is what the human people like to be focused on it, yes. To change it is very simple. my neshama, with my mother, father, sister, husband, children, cousin, friends, are connected. Not my mind, not my personality, not my past, but the neshamot. It's like when you take two people that have completely two different opinions, and one is a big guy, 120 kilo, and the opposite one is a small, teeny person. One is intelligent, the second is stupid. One makes study, the other don't. One is rich, the other is poor. They are completely different. And maybe one like to sleep a lot and to eat a lot, and the second one like to do a lot of things. So psychologically, in the personalities, they are completely opposite one from the other. But what they have that is exactly the same is the connection of the neshama. Exactly the same. Because the neshama comes from only one source. One, not two or three or four or five. Yes, they had different level of spirituality inside the life. But it's like because the neshamot is a part of God, a part of Hashem, and He is one. So in fact, I am connected with everyone in a channel that is exactly the same. I think that maybe 1 month ago, I'm not sure, I told the story, but it's a good story, a real story, of the rabbi of Nadvorna, I think. I was in Jerusalem of a Shabbat, and he organized a Shabbat in Poland with the entire community. So they take an entire hotel, 50 rooms, the planes, the car, the food, they organize a complete Shabbat from Israel to there. Big organization. Yes, everything had to be glad kosher, the travel, the cars, everything. And this guy was in a phone every day with the manager of the hotel to organize. It's not easy, yes? For example, it's all electronic today, so the doors, the light, the whole, everything have to be fixed before. Yes. Everything has to be kosher. So, and this guy told me the story that if he found that the Alex, yes, Alex was his name, I think, Alex, the manager of the hotel, a pure guy, was very nice. Normally, they say when we organize that, we have a lot of problem because at the beginning, the manager is nice, but after he understands all the problems that when he receives an Orthodox community to change everything in the hotel, he becomes less and less nice. At the beginning, you see the money, yes, oh, good. After that, you say, get crazy. What do you want to change this and to change that and to fix the doors and the electronic and the... And he told that this guy was so nice. Everything he was asked said, no problem, I will fix it. And then if he call him back, he said, it's fixed. At the entrance of the hotel, we will put a guy and we open the second door so you don't have to go through the electronic opening. The light in the room, everything. And he was very surprised. He said, okay, when we arrive, I want to meet this guy to see why he's so nice. He arrived and he asked, where is Alex, the manager? And I called him and he told me he saw a big guy, 2 meters, very strong, coming, very impressive. And he said, hello, I am Alex. So it was surprising, but the looking of this guy, like, was very muscular guy, impressive guy. And he was so nice. He said, tell me, why are you so nice? Maybe you are Jew. So Alex kind of started off, he said, I was born a Christian. I go every Sunday to the church. No way. He said, you know, I ask you that because you are so nice with the old Jewish tradition, and when we are asking, what was your mother name? He said, my mother name was Ruchele. I said, Ruchele? Yeah, but she passed away when I was a small boy. He said, do you think this is a Polish name? I said, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I said, so the rabbi told him, this is a Jewish name. So you are Jew. The guy was in shock. And the rabbi sit with this Alex and speak with him 45 minutes. The end of the story is that after that, it was the Shaliach of Chabad, so he connect with him, and today this guy is back to the Jewish tradition. But what is surprising, I will tell you. The shamash of this rabbi, after that, asked the rabbi, Rabbi, I know you 35 years. The longest conversation we had together was about 10 minutes. Your Hasidim come, you speak 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Here, you 45 minutes with an Alex that just discovered that he's Jew. I don't understand. The answer is one of the most beautiful answers that everyone has to take in his life. The rabbi say, you know what? Between Alex and me, we are one. This Alex that grew like a Christian from his childhood, going to the church and discovering, I don't know, maybe at 40 years old that he's a Jew. His neshama, my neshama, we are one. This is what I give 45 minutes to bring him home. For me, it was a very important teaching. It was a Shabbat that we make with 60 or 70 people in Jerusalem. So it was very busy Shabbat of teaching. But this lesson was for me, this is really what happened during these 3 weeks. I want to fix relationship with someone that hurt me, or someone that is bad with me, or someone that is like this or like that, or someone that make problem in my life. I have to connect my neshama to the one, to his neshama. I have to be in peace to build my life with light, with joy, to build. Not just all the time to see the movie and the picture of the destruction. This will not help me. When I am connected in peace and light with my neshama, so I am connected to Hashem. I am connected to the neshama of each one. One day the Baal Shem Tov was asked how when someone arrived to him, in 2 minutes he can see what is in life. He said, if you have Ahavat Israel, if you have love for each Jew, he becomes completely transparent. You can read his mind. So we can solve everything, we can progress everything, we can build everything. If I stay in a position of sadness, of fire, of destruction, of position, yes, I again and again and again and again, I see the picture of what is destroyed, not what can be rebuilt, completely new, much better than it was. This is my life, so the life is in my hand to decide what was burned is burned, what was destroyed, what a part of that. With that I can rebuild anything. Because in this seed, it is a particle of light that is the essence of the neshama and the essence of Hashem. And this particle is unlimited, infinite. I can make a 50 floors building on a small house that was only 1 floor before. Because it was destroyed, is included inside me. I don't have to look at the other. What he will do, okay, no, forget. I am the architect of my life. I take the life in my hands. I want to make my life shining and to build floor and another floor and another floor. My children, my husband or ex, my next friends, neighbor, my parents, everyone, in fact, become a part of what I take my neshama. I make the light shining for my neshama. I'm in peace with my neshama. I look the plan of what I want to build. This is, don't have darkness, you don't see the light. In the middle of the day, what you will see? Nothing. Where are the stars during the day? Why you don't see them? Because the sun is shining. So without darkness, it's impossible to see the light. Yes. So the darkness is a blessing that pushes us to look for the light. Yes. Darkness, when it's a positive. Painting without shadows, it will look completely flat. Yellow painting, I have one of the paintings that looks like a sun, particle of sun. The background is completely black, and the colors are only yellow and white. It looks like it's jumping out of the painting. If I take off the black, it looks completely flat. So the darkness, according to the Kabbalah, it's the blessings that give the ability to the human to discover the light. Question? Shlomo, I have a question. Yes, Shlomo.
To their sister for 10 years. Something not so meaningful. Also, there's people who they have a relationship that they break, and because it was causing a lot of, they can't have this relationship. And if someone sees that relationship, or to reframe it.
That was someone that hurt you. I have this case not for long, this week when I was in Jerusalem. Someone told me a story that happened 1.5 months ago. And I say, according to the story, tell me, okay, maybe it's hurting between you and your sister. Hurting, let's say it was 10 minutes, 1 hour, immediately, yes. You keep it alive, and you add oil on the fire during 1.5 months. So in fact, the case that relationships are difficult can be a part of a new relationship with light and joy. Acting in general in that way, and this is completely wrong. You can say, maybe, you know what, in my life I have one person that, this person, I don't know why, but she's acting like that with everyone. She's a bad person. I don't agree with that, but let's say, let's give 1%. You don't keep it for 1%. You keep it for any type of relationship. If you are hurted, or you want to keep distance, or people don't agree with you, don't give you what you are asking, then it's not 1%. It's 1% good and 99% bad. So this is not a way of looking the connection of the neshamot. It can happen. It happens sometimes that we find a person very specific, but it's very rare. With people, I have problems with my parents, wife, and husband, children, cousin, friends. Every time I get hurted by people, it's not 1%. And every time I feel very sensitive. If I fix it inside me with my neshama is connected with the other, I will switch to 50, 60, 70% of my whole relationship are good, very good, or less time to fix in the society. Of the case with someone that don't have the same position, opinion, relationship has to be based on the opposite. And maybe time to time it's a positive building energy between the neshamot. Exceptional case. So you can pray for the neshama of this person and for your neshama, and in the neshamot they are connected. Maybe not in the practical daily life. So what I wish to everyone, you look like everyone is a good fighter in life, you know. Fight, but to fight for peace, for joy, for building the same energy you have on Mishkan Bet HaMikdash inside you, that you become every question we have, because question come only when you put the light. It's no more question, no more shadows, no more darkness. Like an example of what is the Shekhinah, because a light, if you close the window, the store, the light is immediately interrupted. So what we learn from that the light is always connected to a source, to a light. It's no light independent from its source. So your source, your neshama, the neshama of everyone that is connected to your life, when you make it shining, it fixes all your problems, in fact. And this is the matter of this beginning of the 3 weeks. So may Hashem give to everyone the blessing to have so much light to shine inside his heart, inside in neshama, and then it will shine to the other. And then light with light are very good partners. Light with light are fantastic partners. Light, enjoy.
Amen.